Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Nikki B Trying. In case you didn't know, the TRI in my trying stands for triathlons. So, my name is Nikki B trying to do triathlons, basically. And I don't know if you can see this shirt right here. Hold up, hold up. I did a triathlon. On Sunday, I completed my first sprint triathlon. It was the most amazing experience. I'm so freaking excited. I'm so proud of myself. Honestly, going in, like, I didn't even allow myself to think about anything. I was just like step by step by step. My first step, set up your transition area. My second step, put your wetsuit on. My third step, go get wet to get prepared for the swim session. Now, here's the thing. A triathlon is swimming, biking, running. Biking, running, okay, seems easy enough. Swimming, on the other hand, if you saw any of my previous videos, then you might be aware that while I just started learning how to swim, like fully swim, like learning how to freestyle, I also just started experiencing swimming in the ocean, which is, I'm not even going to say fear unlocked because it was a fear forever. Like, I am terrified of the ocean. I'm terrified of what lives in the ocean. I'm terrified of the waves, riptides, currents, you name it, I'm terrified of it if it has to do with the ocean. I don't even like sand, okay? I don't even like walking on the sand. Like, that is not romantic, sexy, nothing about that to me is great. So, one would ask, why would you be doing a triathlon then? Well, this is the era of overcoming, okay? The era of overcoming. So I really was anxious about the open water swim portion, even though I had been taking all these swimming lessons in a pool. The ocean is very different. It is not just flat, heated to 84 degrees, and short and clear. The ocean is vast, and again, things live in there. So I did this clinic that came with the triathlon that I was doing a month before, and every fear I had was realized. No, I wasn't eaten by a shark or anything like that, obviously, because I'm here. But I full blown panicked trying to get into the ocean. Full blown panic, crying, terrified, thought I was gonna die. My chest was so tight. The wetsuit was tight on me. It was my first time in it. Everything that, if you've ever like looked up or what people talk about for your first time experience, that was that. So I had this real fear that this was not something I was going to be able to overcome and do. The ocean portion, I was really scared that all this training I was doing, all this work I was putting in, that I wasn't going to be able to complete this thing because of the ocean portion. I started going weekly to this open water swim with this amazing group that, honestly, they're so super patient. It's a bunch of people who just go swim, who love being in the ocean. So foreign to me, but they welcomed me. They coached me through learning how to get in the ocean, get past the breaks where it's calmer so you're not fighting waves. And then if you're panicking, float on your back, okay? I spent a lot of time floating on my back in the ocean at this point. But then I also finally, only a week before my triathlon, figured out how to get comfortable enough to put my face in the water while swimming. I don't know if you've ever tried to freestyle, with your head like this, you're not getting anywhere. And you look like you're drowning. Okay. I also learned that my wetsuit basically means I'm not, like, I would have to put in a lot of effort to drown in my wetsuit. That was comforting to me. I don't know if it's comforting to you, but it helped me out. So, anyway, I got used to wearing my wetsuit. I did these swims every single time, was like, I would fight myself and say, no, I don't want to go. I don't want to go. Maybe, oh, I have a headache today. Maybe I'm not going to go. And I would go, and I just force myself to do it, and I would be so proud of myself after each time. And I did another one the day before my race, and in that one, I felt so comfortable. So I was like, okay, it was freezing. It was freezing though. But going into the actual event, every moment I went minute by minute. I didn't go, okay, I have to swim, then I have to bike, then I have to run. No. The way that they organized it, which was really great. I mean, I can't wait to do more with this group, CalTri events. It was a sprint triathlon, so we went first, and you line up by timing, like how long you think it takes you to swim 100 yards on average. Now, because I'm usually in a pool, my timing's faster, so I was very conservative in terms of like choosing my spot in the ocean. I think I went in like the 3 minute group, and because I didn't want to be trampled, frankly. I mean, you hear a lot of nightmares about people like in these things getting hit in the head and kicked and your leg getting grabbed. So I was already like, I'll just be in the back. Plus, I felt like that was realistic to my swim pace in the ocean. And I would be around like minded people during that time where we're just trying to finish. We're not trying to like break records here. Like, our goal is to finish. And the one thing I was worried about is with the swim, you have to do, for the sprint, the cutoff was 20 minutes. Meaning, if you didn't finish in 20 minutes, it would show as a DNF, so it did not finish when you look at your race time. Now, that was something I was like, yes, my goal is just to finish, but I do want to make sure that I hit that cutoff. Okay, guess who hit the cutoff in 17 minutes? Nicole did. Okay. Nicole hit the cutoff in 17 minutes, and I was shocked because when I was actually in the water, first you do the run thing, like you see as if you're like, again, like a Baywatch babe. You get to like run into the ocean, right? And no, it is not as sexy as it looks on Baywatch. One, because you're in a big wetsuit, so you look like a seal. And you're like, mm. Two, running in the ocean is not a thing. Like, it's impossible because you're trying to step over waves and then they're coming in and going out. The water yesterday was the most beautiful I have ever seen it. Here, anyway, in Southern California. It was placid. It was like very, very, very light waves. The temperature was decent. The sun was out. It was so beautiful. Not a cloud in sight. It was a beautiful day. I was weirdly excited to run into the ocean to start this swim. That'll just give you an idea of how beautiful it was. So, the timer goes off, and here I go. I'm going into the ocean. And so you run out and you get to the point where you start swimming once you get past the break. And I look at where that buoy's at, and I was like, hold up, that buoy looked real far. And I have to go from that buoy to that buoy and then back out here? Okay. So I just put my head down and swam. I didn't even try to like sight for things. I came up a little bit, saw, and this was like, okay, everybody's headed this way. This is the way I'm headed. I don't need to be trying to figure out sight lines, nothing like that. There's a whole group of people going in the same place. I'm going to be a follower today, and I'm A-okay with it. I'm going to tell you right now, the people who were in this triathlon, in this group, were the most encouraging, awesome, cheering each other on group of people. We're almost at the buoy, guys. Yeah, we're crossing the buoy. Just like it felt like we were all in this thing together. It didn't feel like a race again, like where we were competing against each other, trying to get one up on each other. No, it was like, hey guys, let's all get through this. And people would cheer you on. And yes, we bumped into each other or accidentally hit each other, but it wasn't like everyone would be like, oh, sorry, oh, sorry. And, we giggle a little and then continue to swim. And there was a portion where I turned on my back to swim for a bit because I was like getting a little tired. And I'm like, well, my legs can go, and that's all that matters. So I did that, and I saw some other people doing the same thing, and no one cared. Like, it wasn't about, oh, you're not an Olympic swimmer, or like, why are you. It was just like, let's just get there, guys. Oh, and then we just need to get there. Oh, look, we're at the other buoy. It was so encouraging and like give you faith in mankind again sort of moment, because no one was just out for themselves. We were all there for the same reason, and it was a lot of like first timers like me. And so you just felt that energy of excitement and everyone just being like, wow, I'm doing this amazing thing. So then I get to have my moment where I'm running out of the ocean because I finished my swim, which I'm already like, dude, I just finished that swim. And I look at my watch and I see my little 17 minutes, and I'm like, okay, okay. And then you're supposed to like try to run up the sand. And then that's why I realized my legs were very tired. My legs were very tired. My friend, my best friend came, and my husband was there rooting me on. I have so much video footage of the best moments. It's so amazing. And I can hear my friend yell, "Run, Nikki, run!" And I was like, "Nah, man, we're not." I think I ran for like 5 steps, and then I was like, "Oh no, I still have to like bike and actually run. Like I'm gonna get there when I get there." So when I say my transitions were a little slow, my transitions were a little slow. I took my time. I had to take off my wetsuit, wash my feet, put my socks in my bike shoes, and I was like, hydrate, 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 and got through that portion. It was just, again, so amazing. So I put my bike helmet on, and I'm like, it's time to go. Now I'm running in my little clip, 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 clip shoes. So it's like duck running. I don't know if you've ever tried to run with like, if your bike has clips, your shoes have these little metal pieces underneath that clip. I mean, it's the whole thing. So trying to run in those shoes, you're like that. So I have a lot of video of my duck walk or duck run because I was like ready. I was ready for my bike portion. I was like, let's go. Except for the part where I still am not good at clipping into my bike. So, as expected, there is video footage of me knocking over. Not fully this time. I caught with one leg in the sand. My husband was nice enough to capture this footage of me on my bike, and I leaned to one side because I couldn't clip the other one because it was on like a slight incline, and it's very hard. It's hard on flat, okay? For me, even on flat, it's hard. You put an incline, and I gotta try to get the momentum going with one foot to then clip in the second foot. It's gonna be problematic. I knew it was gonna be problematic, but I did it after my little mishap. And then I started going, and I was like, okay, now we're rolling. We're rolling. I'm doing the bike portion now. And it was like they blocked off most of the streets, which was a big fear I have. Like, I really don't like riding on streets when there's cars for obvious reasons, right? I just feel like it's unsafe for everybody involved. And this was all blocked off, and it was just like kind of a straight shot sort of ride. Light inclines, Here's where I learned that I need to ride my bike more and that I need to ride my bike on hills more, because there is no reason that those inclines should have felt like they did feel for me, but I got up them. That's all you need to know. But my bike ride did take me, it's a 12.5-mile ride, and it did take me about an hour and like 5 minutes or something like that. And I feel like it should have only taken about 40-45 minutes. So I know this is something that I need to work on. So I will. But I'm doing my ride. I even figured out for the first time successfully during this race how to reach for my drink with one hand while still pedaling, while, holding on with a different hand, drink my drink, and get it back into its little clip space. It's actually a lot harder than it looks because you're riding with one hand, so you have the tendency to veer a little bit. Plus, then you're looking down instead of looking forward, and it just feels janky, and like you have to practice that for balance. But I was able to do it twice during the ride, so I was able to continue to get hydrated. Otherwise, I was like gonna have to like stop, drink, and then start up again, and I really didn't want to do that. So I was talking to myself this whole ride because I couldn't have headphones in, just me with my thoughts. So I was talking to myself out loud. I did not care. No one was around to hear what I had to say to myself. But I was just like, look at you. Okay, you're at 3 miles. It's only a 12-mile ride. You're a quarter of the way done. Then I was like, okay, did you just hit 5? That was me while I was riding, cheering myself on, like hyping myself up. Another super awesome thing. So on my tri suit, which I'll show a picture, on the back I ironed on Nikki be trying, like hashtag Nikki be trying, and then I also put it on my sleeve. So people were passing me, which is fine, I mean, there were some like serious people. They were in their like tri bike with the arrow position. They were ready to go. Like they were tapped in. This was their thing. And so people were passing me, which I am A-okay with. But they would be like, go, Nikki, you're doing so great. Keep it up. And it was just like, who are these amazing people that I've never met before, and why are they not in my life all the time? Like, I'm gonna just like start putting my name on everything. I want to know if I do that, if people are just all over the place, they're gonna be like, hey, Nikki, I hope you're having a good day. Like, it was just, they were so encouraging, and it was, oh, again, faith in humanity. Faith in humanity. It was like a community. This whole thing. Again, not competing against each other, nothing like that. It was just, you go, like, this is great, look what you're doing, people who clearly like were pro bike riders, and they're just like cheering my little self on as I'm pedaling away, slowly up a hill. That's not even a big hill. I'm not gonna lie, they were very small hills. Like the incline was very small. But again, I did it, and they were rooting me on. Like, who are these people? It was so amazing. And I was like, you're right. I do got this. I got this. And so I get to the bike portion, finish up, unclip at the right spot, hop off. And then I was like, I'm not running this duck walk situation. So I took my shoes off and I ran with my bike to try to have a little faster transition to the run portion, because I was a little disappointed in how long it took me to do the bike ride. In my mind, I had wanted to finish in 2 hours. I finished in 2 hours, 18 minutes, which again, to me, amazing. First time ever doing this. Like a good time was spent in transition. So I know that's something I can improve upon, just like I know I can improve upon my bike, my swim, and my run. So I transitioned over to the run area. I'm putting on my run shoes. I'm drinking more liquid. Putting on my little visor. And just like that run off the bike situation is no joke either. Like, my legs were like tree trunks coming off the bike. And I knew that that was a thing, which is why I have so many videos of me doing brick workouts where you do one thing and then straight off of that you transition into another thing. So a lot of the time I would do my bike and then I would go for a short run or a longer run to get to, I needed to know what that feeling was going to be like so that it wasn't a shock to me on day of. But after swimming, then biking, and then running, it was a little more than what I had felt when I would just do it after the bike. But I started off like amazing pace. Like I felt even though I had like this tree trunk feeling in my legs, I wasn't like winded, I wasn't like super sore. I was just like, all right, now it's time to go run a 5K. Let's do that. You do that all the time. You run 5Ks all the time. You ran three 5Ks last week. And that's what I was telling myself. Like, all right, now it's just the run portion. And so the minute I put those running shoes on and got that visor on, I was running. Like, I was like, let's go. So I was able to start off with a really good pace. Like, even looking at my time, it was the fastest pace I ran a mile. And my husband, honestly, guys, like when you see the videos and you'll hear him throughout every video, woohoo! Nikki Bay trying! Let's go, Nikki! Like the hype man of the century. Hype man of the century. And then I have my best friend getting all this other extra footage. It's just like having these two people there with me. They are people who know what I've been through. We'll get to that part in a minute. Anyway, so I decide I'm just gonna like, for that run, you're just going. You're going. You're not looking at your watch. You're not trying to figure out anything else. Like, you're just gonna go. And so that's what I did. I just ran. I was like, eventually I'll see a sign for a turnaround, and that's when I'll know it's time to turn around. I'm not gonna like keep checking my watch because I was worried that I would be like, oh well, maybe if you walk for a quarter mile, because sometimes on my runs that's what happens to me. I'll get like in my head with the distances and then be like, oh, I'll negotiate. Like, you can walk 10th of a mile. And then, so I was like, I'm not even looking at my watch. I'm just going to run. And I was able, like, they had little water stands. So I did stop for one portion and drink a water and, like, walk until the, litter zone ended, and then throw the water bottle away and then go about my run. And then on the run, people clapping, cheering, go Nikki! And I'd see someone that I had seen earlier, and then they'd ahead of me, and I'm like, yes, like, you go. Or people, you could see them like kind of getting exhausted and getting to the point where maybe they're walking a little bit, and it's like, you got this. Like, I wanted to be a part of the good energy team too. So I was like, after I hit that turnaround, I was like, best sign I've seen all day. And then I saw some people on my way back, and they were headed, and I was like, you're so close to that turnaround. Like, you are really close to the turnaround. You're almost there. And so then I'm like doing my run, and it's just like, I was in my head like, why does my body feel so good right now? Like, what is going on? Who are you? Like, what is this body? Where'd she come from? Who built her up like this? I did. I did, guys. I built her up like this. So anyway, I do check, and I'm like, well, I hit the turnaround, so I know I only have a mile and a half left. And then I noticed, okay, so another half mile's gone, so I have 1 mile left. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna try to, up my time a little bit. So I just really was like getting into a good pace, feeling really good. And then I was just like getting psyched. Like, there's no way I'm not finishing this at this point. Like, I'm a freaking triathlete in my head at this point. Like, I might as well cross the line right now. Like, I know I'm not stopping. So I get to run, and as I'm coming up, my husband's standing right there, right before like where the finish line, little last area is, and he is screaming. He is, Nikki, Nikki be trying. Woo! You're doing it. You're finishing.
Hey, Nikki! Woo! Woo!
Handsome guy in the last
Yeah,
10
there she
yards.
goes.
There she goes, shimmying her way across the finish line. Nice job, Nicole.
Yeah.
We got more.
And so I get even more energy, and then the announcer is like, ooh, come on, dance over the finish line. So I gave him a little shimmy when I crossed the line. He's like, ooh, she's crossing with a shimmy. All right, Nicole. I mean, who are these people? Why are they not in my life every day? This is amazing. So I crossed the finish line, and I'm like, I did this, and I'm not collapsing. I actually feel really good. And my best friend's there, and I get to FaceTime with my little goddaughter and her sister. And they gave me a little trophy that says Girl Power, which, yes, 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 and yes. More of that, please. So the whole thing was just the most amazing experience I've had in I can't I can't even in terms of how long. You know, my body has been through a lot after years and years of fertility treatment, unsuccessful fertility treatment, endometriosis, multiple surgeries, having a hysterectomy earlier this year, recovering still from that hysterectomy, going to a menopause clinic to try to figure out what to do to help with my body and my exhaustion and my pain and the menopause symptoms and everything that comes with all this craziness that's been going on with my body. Like, me and my body were not on speaking terms. We were not in a good place. And it just felt like every doctor's appointment was like, okay, what can't my body do now? All right, what are we removing from the realm of possibility for my body today? Year after year, to the point where I could barely work. I could barely work. I constantly had pain. I was unable to have a child. All of these things, all of these can'ts and no's and, oh, sorry, your body's not doing that. It's supposed to be doing that, but it's not. And, I gained a bunch of weight. I wasn't exercising. I just was suffering, is how it felt. And I just felt like I got a bum stick, like I was a lemon. I told my husband so many times, I'm so sorry you got a lemon. And every time I was saying that, I was talking about my body. We are 28 years apart, and my health was way worse than his. My body was falling off his legs. Just like surprised I even have all my limbs. Like, it was one thing after another, and I was like, babe, you got a lemon. I'm so sorry. Like, you thought you were getting like a hot young model. Instead the car is falling apart. Like, pretty soon it's not even gonna drive. And he would be like, you're not a lemon, babe, it's okay. And he'd be so supportive and tell me how beautiful I was and how amazing I am. But I couldn't hear it because I was just, again, dealing with the can'ts that my body was throwing at me. So I started on this triathlon journey because I wanted for just a piece of time to focus on what can my body do? Like, I just wanted to go in with curiosity. Like, what can I accomplish? What can my body do? Okay, we're past this point after the hysterectomy of thinking about children, all of that. Like, we're done with that. We're done. Ain't nothing up in there That's not possible anymore. So there's no point in stressing about that anymore. Why continue to focus on the fact that it can't do something that I wanted it to do? Why not look to see what it can? So this is where I started thinking about gratitude and the fact that I can go for a run. I can go for a walk. I can see things. I can go outside and smell, you know, ocean. I live near the ocean, catch a nice breeze. Like, I live in a beautiful place. All these different things. And I know I'm still allowed to mourn and be stressed sometimes about those things that I couldn't do and couldn't have that other people have and that I really wanted. And that's okay. But it doesn't have to be my identity anymore. And that's what it felt like. It felt like that was my identity. I was the friend who couldn't have kids. I was the friend who, oh, she probably isn't going to end up coming to dinner or to this thing that we all planned because she's probably going to have pain. Oh, like that was me. That was my identity. And I needed it to be something else. And it is. It was just a matter of me choosing it and actively working towards it and accepting it. So, having my best friend who has been here with me throughout all of these things that I've been going through and longer. I mean, I don't know. We've been friends for a very, very, very long time since around when I first moved to Los Angeles. And she's seen all of my downs and even better, all of my ups, and has been there and is super supportive. Shout out to Baxter. And then to have my husband there too, who has held me when I'm crying, whether it was pain or because I'm mourning again, that this thing didn't happen or couldn't happen, or understanding my complex emotions when I have a friend who is having a baby, which I'm super happy about for them, but also so sad about for myself, right? Like that it isn't me. He he has been here through so much and through absolutely everything. And then to hear in the videos him cheering and him being more excited than I was through each and every step of this was just the most beautiful thing, and just really reminded me of how great of a man he is and just how supportive he is and how, like, he just makes me so happy, and my happiness means so much to him, and him just being able to see me do this thing that I put my mind to and really worked at, and he's seen me working at it. But just having that support throughout this whole thing, and then that hype man that like day of, he was like, we are ready, what do we need, lock it in, okay, we got this, we got that, let's go, all right, let me put the bike in the car. Like, he was in it with me, like every single step. He had 4 cameras there, 4 cameras just in case, cell phone, camcorder, regular camera, and like another camera, because he was just like, we need to get all this footage because you're amazing. Even before I started, he's like, babe, you're already a triathlete. You already are. Like, look at all the training that you did. You're already a triathlete. So, like, I went into the day with this lightness that I haven't felt in so long versus like anxiety, which I feel so often. Like, it just was like, I usually go into things that I sign up for with like dread. What if I can't do it? What if I fail? What if something happens and I can't finish? Like, that's my mind. He wasn't having that. He wasn't letting me go in with that. He was like, you already did it. Like, you already did it. Now it's just a matter of having fun and enjoying the day. And I was like, you're right. Like, whatever happens today, like, The work that I've put in and the showing up is what matters. And then I did finish though. I finished though. Like for real. In 2 hours, 18 minutes. Sixth in my division. Yes. Finished my swim in 17 minutes. Did my fastest 5K. Like, what? I did that. This body did that. She was with me. We were on the same page. So, yeah, it was just honestly the most amazing, phenomenal experience. And I am impressed with myself. I trained properly for something. I didn't just weekend warrior it, which would normally be my MO. Like on the weekend, be like, oh, let me get a run in or whatever. No, I trained every day, multiple times a day for months at this point leading up to this. And I think that's why I survived it the way that I did. I didn't just survive, but I feel like I thrived in it. And I can't even imagine what my next one's gonna be like. Like, guys, girls, ladies, men, whatever you want to call yourself, we're doing this. Like, people keep saying, oh, you have to change your name from Nikki Be Trying to Nikki Be Doing. But I figure because the TRI is for triathlons and I intend to continue doing triathlons, I'm still triathloning. So that's why it'll still be Nikki Be Trying. But yes, the play on words and the try part for the, TRY try, I did do. I did do. We got past the try part. We got to the do. But yes, so Cal Tri events, amazing, most amazing thing ever. The way they set you up for success from minute one with the swim clinics, with everything, it was just a phenomenal experience. I cannot wait to sign up for another one of your events. I already have 3 triathlons, maybe 4, signed up for next year. I have 2 more 10Ks and a half marathon to do before this year is over. So you will be seeing lots of me and my workouts and my meal prep and my therapy moments and my little confessionals like right now. And I will post a video that is a longer one that kind of goes through what the experience was like for the triathlon. But I just kind of wanted to sit and talk about what the internal experience was and how absolutely beautiful and amazing it was, and to give a shout out to my husband, who is my biggest cheerleader and super amazing, and who really had me believing from minute one that it was a done deal and it was in the bag and that I had it. And for my best friend, Becky, for coming and being supportive and understanding why this was such a big deal and why it was so important for me to be able to do this. I know it's just a sprint triathlon to some people, but for me, it is just my body telling me that we got this and that we are capable of many more things. So, yeah, Nikki be trying. Many more triathlons to come. Thanks, guys. If you liked the video, hit like and subscribe and follow along as I continue this amazing journey.